Greetings and welcome to Monster Legends, and another special feeding episode. This time we're going to be feeding a guy I put together from cells, most of which came from an event in Monsterwood, another from the progression, I believe it was the Apex Predators Island. This is Steak, and unfortunately Steak's got a couple of lock ruin slots, so yeah, we'll see whether or not we're going to be unlocking those in the future. But anyway, as I hear, he is a decent water attacker. And that's something that I don't really have very many of, do I? So with all these wars coming up with double water, it would be a very good thing to have. So let's just find him a home. A space became available when Isaac's upgrade began in the shop. Yeah, so yeah, not many spots left. Actually, I think there's just one more. It looked like he only had one evolution. Okay, well I guess we'll find out. Alright, so where is he here? Okay, little guy puttering around there. Alright, we'll find a nice name for you. Anyway, this is Steak. He's a legendary. He is water. He's he's actually tough. He's not hardened. He has a 35% chance to resist negative status effects. Let's look at the numbers here. He's got a very good power. He's got a very good speed. He's got a good life, too. And his stamina is 140, so he's not getting a boost. These are some really good numbers. These are all good numbers. That tells very well for him. Maybe it's the mechanical augmentations, huh? They started early with them, didn't they? Sorry about that, dude, but, progress and stuff, So anyway, he's got great numbers here. So let's take a look at the skills. All right, so the first one, Steam Power, deals low physical damage to one enemy. And River Snake deals moderate water damage to one enemy. And of course, that wonderful skill we saw, Condensed Steam, deals very heavy special damage to all enemies, applies Mega Freeze to all enemies. Okay, that can be a real saver when that guy pops up. You can say, yes, indeed, absolutely. This steam-powered snake is designed to stand up to apex predators. Steak lives in the water, where it recharges and cools its system, but is a fully functional machine outside of the water. It can survive and battle for up to 9 days without a recharge. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting indeed. I think we should probably feed him a bit, because he's just a little fella, right? And besides, once we raise him up to 4, we'll be able to put the next level of augmentations into him. Okay, evolution. We're helping it a little with steam. Yes, we're helping it a little with steam. Alright, that's good. Okay, he's letting off some steam there, apparently. He's like, what have you done to me? Oh, dude, you're going to be better. Really. It's for the best. It really is. You can function up to 9 days outside of the water. Alright, so let's continue, because I want to see some skills, because that's what we're here for. Hot Refrigeration deals moderate special damage to one enemy, 50% chance of applying bleeding. That's a very good place to start. Yes, I like it when water things make things bleed. So let's continue to level 10. Increase Compression applies damage boost to itself. Well, obviously we're not going to keep that, but we have to take it for now. Hopefully there's something better that comes along a bit later. Yeah, okay, he's screaming, what have you done to me? Don't worry, dude, it'll all be fine. Let's continue to level 15. Forced Exhaustion removes all negative status effects from itself, gives extra turn to itself. Well, that's kind of interesting. If nothing else, that's actually very... First of all, it's no stamina. And second of all, that can actually help with cooldown. So I'm going to put it in the end because I'm not going to keep that. I don't know if I'm going to keep this one, but there's a higher chance I'll keep it than the other one, right? Alright, let's continue to level 20. And another skill. 4-stroke fans. Deals heavy water damage to one enemy, applies bleeding to one enemy. Alright, well obviously that is an upgrade of that one. But actually that's a special attack too. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it here because you never know. I might just keep that one. We'll see about that. I kind of like it. You know, it's a good attack. 0 cooldown, gives bleeding. All good things for our enemies, right? Let's get him up again to 25 in his final form, which is exactly the same. Alright, Scalding Steam. Deals moderate water damage to all enemies, applies bleeding to all enemies. I think we found something for that first spot. Yeah, I do believe we did. This is not so bad at all. The damage isn't crazy, but it does give bleeding, and it's only a 2-round cooldown. So, I mean, he might get better if he does. I'll work on it. But, I mean, I don't have a problem with that being the first skill. I don't have a problem with that being the first skill. Alright, so let's continue. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't seem to have a second evolution. He just has the first one. So I'm not really sure what was up with that. I guess maybe technology just finished the job of evolution. Maybe that's why he's screaming all the time. Alright, let's continue to level 30. Stabilize Rotation. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, applies damage boost and precision to itself. Yeah, that's kind of better than the other one. Well, I don't need this one anymore because, I mean, I don't need no 50% chance of bleeding because I got lots of bleeding up here. It's also, I'm happy that it's a special attack. And it is a 0 cooldown, actually. Interesting. I'm wondering whether I need that second attack anymore. You know, I mean, it's good damage. It's heavy damage. It's just that it does bleeding, and this one's going to do the bleeding thing. I mean, it's got a 2-round cooldown, 3 turns of bleeding, which means he can keep the bleeding going perpetually, you know? So does he really need this one? I mean, I kind of like this one, obviously, you know, because it's going to give a damage boost and precision. And this one down here gives the extra turn. I don't know. Let's just continue and see what we get. Alright, level 35. 2-stroke fans. Deals insane water damage to one enemy, applies bleeding. Well, yes, I'm not married to that one. I'll definitely take that one down the aisle, though. That's a much better one, and yeah, I'm keeping that one. Keeping that one. So, let's continue. Maybe he's got some upgrades coming, right? Maybe at level 40. Broiling Refrigeration. Deals heavy water damage to all enemies. He's doing a lot of bleeding, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, wow, that's good damage. I mean, obviously I have to put that in the first spot. I mean, it's good damage. What do I do with the other one now? Alright, well, first and foremost, we're keeping that. Yeah, first and foremost, we're keeping that, right? I just don't know what I'm going to do from here. I mean, are they going to make it more complex and throw something else at me? Alright, let's just continue and see what happens. I really wanted to keep that last one, but I don't know anymore. Scalding Steam. Yeah, this one. What am I going to do about that? See, the other one I could lose. I can't lose that one. And I can't lose that one. See, the thing about it is if I put Scalding Steam in for Forced Exhaustion, then I'm going to be doing Scalding Steam instead of doing this one, which will allow me to go back up here. That's the thing. It's either taking Scalding Steam or be able to do Broiling Refrigeration earlier, you know? And that's just a better skill. And it's less stamina for some reason. I never thought I'd let a skill like this go, but I just think it's the right thing to do. I mean, look, you start with this one, probably come back with this one, right? In order to give himself the damage boost and the precision. Maybe even if it's a situation where the denial has really shut down the other side, then just do this one first for the damage boost and the precision, and then do this one, right? And then do this one, and if you can do this, then you go back to the first. Well, actually, you couldn't do that then. You'd have to do this and then this. I think Scalding Steam has to go away. Because I just don't see, I can't lose that one because it's a really big, serious hit. You know, when it was the other one, when it was down there, you know, just over into heavy, then you let it go. But this is an insane hit. And with his power, it's going to hurt a lot. So I got this one here. It's a good special hit. The thing is, they're going to be all bleeding anyway. So I just don't see another reason for this. So I'm going to have to say no. I think that's probably it. I can't imagine they'd give us anything else, but you never know. Alright, let's see. Okay, revolution increase. Deals heavy water damage to one enemy. Applies double damage to itself. Okay, so now you just made my life complex now. Because the thing is, this is his only special damage hit. And this one gives precision. But it's double damage for 2 rounds. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to keep stabilized rotation. The thing about it is the deciding factor is the precision. With the problem with accuracy these days, it's got to be an issue. It's got to be something you take into consideration, right? Because the thing about it is, Broiling Revolution. Look at the accuracy on Broiling Revolution. Refrigeration, I should say. You got to keep it. I got to keep it. I need stabilized rotation because the damage boost, it's got a damage boost, but it's got the precision too. It's also a special hit, so it's not going to be mitigated by a problem with mortar attacks. So yeah, I mean, double damage is terrific. It's no use if you miss. And today, that is a big problem. All right, I'm pretty sure that that's all the last of the new ones, but I'm sure they're going to throw that one at me 2 more times here. No, wait a minute, are you sure? You don't? Okay, that's actually the other one. Yeah, this guy's just got a lot of good stuff here, really. And it's saying, are you sure you don't want this? Oh, actually, that was the earlier one, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the earlier one. It was the 4-stroke fangs instead of the 2-stroke fangs. Okay, yeah, I mean, the thing about it is he has some really good stuff, and it makes decisions difficult. Now, I think we got everything. Yeah, that was that last one, scalding system. I mean, the thing about it is, you can take all of the skills that I rejected and put them on another creature, and you'd still have good attacks. That's the thing about it is, you could take this, and this, and this, and then, let's see, what else would you grab here? The damage boost, we already got one of those. You could do that. You could put these other, and have another good creature with good attacks. So, anyway, let's take a look at the stats. His wow, power, really good. Life, really good. Speed, very good. Wow, he's amazing. This is really interesting stuff. I am still questioning, could he possibly getting a buff somewhere? I mean, his stamina is 140, which is base. So, I mean, I usually, when they boost something, they boost everything. But, I mean, these numbers are amazing. So, in terms of being a water attacker, yeah, he's pretty good. He does a lot of bleeding. I would like something else to have been mixed in there, but I mean, that's fine. Bleeding is a good thing. Bleeding is a very good thing. He's an attacker. He's a damage dealer. He doesn't have to do something like stunning or anything like that. That's not what he does. He can self-buff. So, I mean, there's no reason not to do that, right? All right, so let's take a look at the final skills, and this was kind of challenging. Some of these are no-brainers. Other ones are like, oh, it's really hard to make these choices. It really is. All right, let's start with the one that's easy. All right, this is Broiling Refrigeration. Deals heavy water damage to all enemies, applies bleeding to all enemies. That's a very good skill. Very good, heavy damage, and especially with his power. That's really going to hurt. And of course, it's a 3-round cooldown. It's going to have bleeding going for 3 turns, which means there's going to be one time he doesn't get it. But you know what? If there's always a troublemaker in there and you need to get them bleeding a little bit more, he's got this one. 2-stroke fangs. Deals insane water damage to one enemy. Applies bleeding to one enemy. So, I mean, if somebody misses the bleed, resists it, or you want them to bleed just a little bit more, you can just get around and do this one. This one is a very good solid hit bleeding, 1-round cooldown. Okay, this is where we start getting into the fuzzy area. All right, I chose this one, Stabilized Rotation. Deals moderate special damage to one enemy, applies damage boost and precision to itself. All right, so there was another one that's obviously in some ways better than this one. It's water damage, it's a lot more water damage, and it gives double damage for 2 turns. Thing about it is, I take that one, he has no special attacks, and he only has water attacks at that point. So if the enemy that we're working against is actually strong against water attacks, he's going to do reduced damage on everything. Another thing about it is, and this is kind of the deciding factor, this one does give him precision for 2 turns. And that is a big deal today, because there's no purpose in having a huge attack if you're just going to miss 2 out of 3, which is way too frequent. So I take the decrease in the damage boost. The other one was double damage, and the decrease in the hit. But I'm keeping special damage, and I'm getting precision. Now the last one, the reason I'm choosing this one, first of all, forced exhaustion removes all negative status effects from itself, gives an extra turn. So obviously the big thing for this one is going to remove all negative status effects, which is a pretty good thing. He's going to be doing a lot of good resisting anyway, especially if he's on the other side, you know, the pure AI side. He's going to be resisting a lot. But the thing about it is, the other part of this is the fact that it gives him an extra turn, which means it makes it easier to get back to his skills that way. I could have replaced this with something else, such as the other group attack that gave bleeding. I mean, it was high moderate damage, so even if you don't really care about the bleeding because they're already bleeding, it is group damage. The thing about it is this will allow him to get back to the big one quicker, right? So it's really hard to say no to this one, especially since it does have the ability to remove all negative status effects. So the thing about it is that I think that's the way I'm going to play him. That's the way I'm going to play him. I can see there being different configurations for this guy, but I do see that as the way that I am going to play him. Precision, yeah, this one here, it's the precision. There's so much missing going on right now. It's just like terrible. I think we should just take all of our monsters to like the eyeglass store and get them all glasses or something like that. Because, yeah, missing. You got to think that way. You got to think that way. Double damage doesn't do you any good if you miss, you know? So anyway, yeah, he's really, really good. Serious stuff here. You know, and the thing about it is with all his stats, it's really hard to choose what you're going to do. But you know what? Even though he's got a good speed, I wouldn't put anything into speed. You know, I'm thinking damage, at least 2 damages. I'm leaning heavily towards 3. I don't think he's going to have a problem with life, staying alive, because he is kind of chunky. When he gets up to 100, he's probably going to be pushing 30,000 with the health, if not over that. So I might just go all damage with this guy. Maybe 2 primary damages and then a support one. I mean, you could put speed on him, and there's definitely a benefit to that because he's going to go around doing more and more damage and such. But I don't know. I mean, the thing about it is he's had really good power, and his attacks do really good damage. So it's really hard not just to throw damage right across the board on him. But I could understand if you want to put a speed on him. I could also understand if you wanted to put a life ruin on him too, to take advantage of the big life and to keep him alive longer. Me, myself, I'm thinking damages right across the board. That's what I'm thinking. So anyway, this is Steak, and yeah, he's really good. I like him. I know there's some people who don't like him, and frankly, I can't understand why. He seems to be filling a role, especially on my team, of a water damage dealer, a serious damage dealer. So anyway, thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games because games are fun. See ya.